Thank you, Richard, and thank you for remembering I'm not called Julie. He's not very PC, actually, because every time we make a statement, and he makes it for me, he sends me an email saying, shall I do it in a very high, girly voice? So I am educating him. He is getting there. But it is an absolute honour to be the President of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm absolutely delighted. First of all, I think we've got to acknowledge, however, how difficult a job it's made for me to follow Yuri. I'm sure you'll all agree, he's had the most fantastic year. You've put so much energy and effort. I don't suppose we all realise how much time it takes that you have to invest in the city if you're going to really make a difference. And Yuri, you're amazing. You did really, really well. One of the things I liked about Yuri's approach was a fresh approach. You decided to approach it in a completely different way and a modern way of thinking. So I guess my challenge is to follow in that light, my even more fresher approach sometimes, I suspect. But I want to continue in that vein, but I'd certainly like to acknowledge everything you did over the year, and you've made it a really difficult job for me now. Much is being made of the fact that I'm a female. I've always been used to it for 42 years now, but and I get jewellery, so I suppose I can comment on that. It's not an issue to me. I've never thought about the fact that whether men or women can succeed. But I think it's important to acknowledge, are you calling it the famous five or the fabulous five? That's a really strong statement in the city that women and men can achieve. And when we're sending that message out, locally, globally, and in the European market, which is extremely important to us, it's a place where anybody can succeed. So I will use the Sheffield female badge just once, and that is to say that makes us look modern and progressive, which I think is how we want our chamber to be. Over the past few years, we've had some tough times, but we've taken away and listened to our members, and hopefully you've seen the effect that we've changed. We have modernised ourselves, and over the next year, I intend that to be my cause, to have a modern and fresh approach. So as a Chamber President, I guess I've got to make a pledge to you that I will listen, that I will act on your behalf, not react, that we will push for change wherever change is needed. I'm delighted to hear that Julie Dorr acknowledges that and said, challenge us and make sure that we do things. I will, and I will listen to you about what you want to have an effect in the city, what changes you want to make. And I'm not frightened to challenge people. So if you do have a cause and you want me to be the terrier around somebody's ankles, please do tell me. I promise to do that. And my theme, which, to be honest, I could make this speech very short because you just go and read the Yorkshire Post article because they printed it all this morning. But my theme is following on from what Yuri had in the Olympic year. I can't ignore that it's the Olympic year and I'm known for loving my sports. So I have chosen that as my theme on the basis of applying that to business. The person I would really admire and like to acknowledge is Jessica Ennis. I think she's all our hero. If you've got silver, well, that doesn't matter. She's going to get gold next year for us. But her determination as an Olympic athlete, she has a single-minded focus. She knows she's going to be the best in the world. She trains and works hard, and she delivers. Okay, she just believes in it. She already thinks, I am the world's best and I'm going to do it. And that's what Olympic athletes have to do. You won't win if you don't have the completely single-minded determination that you're already it, that you're successful. So my theme would be to follow that Olympian athlete attitude into our business world and into Sheffield as a city. I think it's been mentioned, hasn't it? And I almost hasten not to mention it again, but we're cup half empty and we don't shout out loud enough. Let's forget that. The whole point is we must decide that we are the best in the world at what we do and tell everybody and believe in it. Be single-minded, be determined, be focused as a city, as economy, as our city region, that's what we're going to deliver on. And then we will. Sometimes when you just decide it's going to be, that's what happens. It's very simple. Now, the other thing is when you're an Olympic athlete, you're never looking over your shoulder about who's coming up on the inside track, because otherwise you've already lost the race. So again, I've been interviewed by a few journalists who continuously ask me about what I feel about Manchester or Leeds or London, and I don't feel anything because it doesn't have an impact. You know, I'm not looking over my shoulder at them because I'm determined to win the race. So we're looking forward about what we excel at. That's not to take away the fact that some of our businesses, a new startup businesses, you were raising it earlier, okay, we're not going to have world domination straight away. I do accept that won't be the case. And a huge amount of our economy is boosted by our entrepreneurs, our small businesses, and startup organisations. So my second theme is based on a very strong Yorkshire principle on what I was brought as I was brought up as a child, which is the good neighbour principle. When I was a child, I lived in a small village called Todwick, and my neighbours would look after me, whatever had happened. We would all look after each other, look out for each other, support each other, make sure we were safe, all those very basic principles of what a good Yorkshire neighbour would be. And I would like to take that theme and apply it to our business community. On various levels, number one is by buying locally, looking after our own, going to your neighbour and saying, you know, I buy these products, can I buy them from you? Can you provide me with this service? Again, very simple, but always looking to home first of all. But beyond that, I believe that it's incumbent on us all to look at the businesses that are around us and see how you can help them. So I'm trying to think of everybody I know with a horse now, okay? So very simple principles, which I would like us to go out at when you're having your canapes and drinks when we go outside, swap business cards with the person next to you and say, I'm going to promise to find some sort of opportunity for you, or at least introduce you to somebody I know. And if we all did that, i.e. looking after other people's businesses, I can assure you it starts to look after your own because you reap what you sow. And again, it's the one common purpose. It's great to have, Julie was talking about inward investment of the large organisations, but we've got to remember the fabric of our business community is the smaller organisations that desperately need our support. So the more we can do that, the better. And I've said to the council, when they buy their services, they should be buying local as well, not going to Leeds and Manchester. I do find that frustrating, and I'm not going to be quiet about it in due course. And just very finally, in addition to thanking Yuri yet again for your wonderful year, is to thank you all, A, for electing me. Thank you for the support that I hopefully will receive throughout the year. I'm desperately trying to think of a way where we can make the AGM a bit more exciting. You know, we need to spruce it up by Resolution 11.1.1, very hard. But I will try and bring some innovation and passion to the city, to the chamber, and I would welcome any comments and feedback and support that you can give me. Thank you very much.